It was the day that I ran for class president. I was 12 years old, I was nervous as heck, and I had no idea what I was doing. My opponent had already written a speech and rehearsed it with her parents, while I didn't realize the speech was that day and I was just going to have to wing it. I went up there and said the first thing that came to mind. I will make all your dreams come true. I will be a success. You will never regret voting for me. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Now, when the other girl went up there, she stated what she would do and how she would run. She had a very well-informed speech put out, and in all honesty, she probably should have won. So why is it that I did instead of her? What made me and my persuasion work better than what she had? That's what I'd like to talk to you about today. The fact that there are 6 ways in which we use persuasion and don't even realize it. Why one person wins over the other even if they don't deserve it as much. How we buy things in everyday life that, in all honesty, we don't need. So the first thing that comes to mind is reciprocity. Now, you may be thinking, what on earth? Why does that have anything to do with persuasion? Well, let's think about it this way. When you were little and you had siblings or friends and you did something nice for them, did you expect something in return? Or did you get A's in class just so your parents would give you that extra piece of chocolate at night? This is what I'm talking about, a favor for a favor. This is a type of persuasion. It's a tactic in which we use to get what we want even without realizing it. And it can be used in a way that is positive or negative, but either way, it's persuading somebody, and most of the time we do it without realizing it. The next thing is scarcity. If we know that something's going to be gone, we're more than likely going to A, either buy it, or B, use it before that time runs up with it. We can see this in everyday things such as when Coke changed its recipe and suddenly everybody was rushing to the store stocking their shelves for thousands of weeks, or the Coke, even though they really didn't need it. It was just that, oh my goodness, this is going away, I have to have it. The next thing we can look at is the fact that if you like somebody, you're more than likely going to do or agree with what they say. So, the girl in the speech, that was my opponent, she had more ideas, she was better at every task. I mean, she was more prepared than I ever would have hoped to be. Yet, she didn't win. Why is that? Well, for starters, she was new. Nobody really knew her. She hadn't been socially accepted yet. It was her first week of school, in all honesty. So it's just my likability was at a higher rate than hers, and that persuaded others to vote for me rather than her. It also had to do with social peer status and just where people saw her on the social ladder. Me, I had already been really well established as an athlete. I was known for being able to run, even though I really couldn't run. I was known for playing volleyball, and I was a swimmer that had done quite well in her lifetime. I'd also been established in the community because I was in the newspaper quite often for the sports that I did. Now, since she just moved into town, nobody really knew anything about her, and so her likability and social status just weren't as high. It also has to do with the fact that, authoritatively, I was already higher than she was. I was living in the same town for 12 years by then. I knew everybody so well that they knew I was a pretty proud leader, okay? I was not the nicest little girl, I'll be honest, I have changed, but as you can all tell, no teenager is going to be sweet. They all have that moment of, well, just the beast coming out. So my leadership was, or authority, as well you should put it, was pretty predominant, and everybody knew about it. So that also helped in just persuading people to vote for me. And finally, we have the consistency of it all. I consistently would repeat, I'm going to be the best. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. Success, success, success. I'm awesome, I'm awesome, I'm awesome. Now, that may not have been true, but I kept repeating it, and suddenly it was in everybody's minds. And she said what she wanted to do and how she was going to change things, but it was never the same thing over and over again. Mine was, yes, 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 I'm awesome, awesome, awesome. And hers was just different, 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 different. And the consistency just wasn't there. So, overall, in the race of life, if you have these types of persuasion, you will win. You see it happen all the time. People who you never thought would have won the political race, or people look at you and say, why did you buy that? It happens, and we don't know why, yet it keeps happening. This is the act of persuasion in everyday life. Now, you can say, why does this matter? I'd like to challenge you to this as to why it matters. Now, you can impact the world in a positive or negative way. And for this challenge, I'd like you to go out and impact it in a way that you believe is positive. Whether that be persuading somebody to recycle a can, or persuading somebody to go to church for the first time. Do what you think is a good thing, and use persuasion in a way that will positively influence the world and impact a better tomorrow. Thank you.